It has surprised me how almost magically impactful a matching grant can be to prospective donors. Once I had kids and started looking for some meaning in my life beyond work, I realized that I needed to look for in some place, and I ended up spending time with a cousin who's observant, lives in Harnof in Jerusalem, and he exposed me to a lifestyle that was completely foreign to me, very observant Jewish environment, and I felt very attracted to it, but at the same time ignorant of what it meant and really wanted to learn. So when I got back to America, I looked up an organization called Partners in Torah, which hooked me up with a learning partner, and I could learn at my own pace. And so I did that, and I learned with him every day, every Thursday at 4 o'clock, pretty much for 7 years. I had friends whose kids were in Jewish day school, and one of them made me aware of this matching program that AVI CHAI had that would allow me, if I made the largest gift that I'd ever made to Jewish day school, then this foundation would match the gift and the school would get twice as much money. And given what I was learning about tzedakah, I thought this would be a great opportunity to get started in following through on what I understood the laws of tzedakah to be. That gift caused me to look a little closer at the whole day school system. I feel like the younger generation, the kids, especially going down to like the earliest ages when they first begin school, I think those kids are very impressionable and could be steered towards a Torah observant life and just given a chance to learn about it. They'll have the foundation that they can fall back on if they need to, which I didn't have, and I had to learn it as an adult. Eventually, I realized that what I wanted to focus my foundation on, was in coming up with a redesign from the bottom up approach to education, not just Jewish education, but education. And the AVI CHAI Foundation was a great partner because a lot of the projects that AVI CHAI was doing were really in line with what we were looking to do, and in many ways AVI CHAI was ahead of us, and we decided to team up. The program is called the Bold Initiative, and it was a great way to leverage what we were doing and to get a much more focused and targeted and intelligent implementation. One of the first things I did was bought a building that was going to be the home for an existing high school. And the high school that moved in there was Stern Hebrew High School, which became Kohelet Yeshiva High School. It became clear to me that the only way in the long run to make Kohelet Yeshiva High School sustainable was to create the K-5 and 6-8 programs. And we engaged a number of educators and a number of other people who were experts in the field, and we said, if you could snap your fingers and make a Jewish day school, what would it look like? And we partnered with a company called Institute of Play to design our middle school, and we're partnering with a company called Alt School, which is creating a very student-centered approach to secular education. We also launched the Kohelet Prize, which was intended to be a motivation for innovators around the world who had ideas about how you could make Jewish education better. We ended up getting over 300 applications in our first year. I grew up in a lower middle class family and never really was driven by money per se, and ended up in a job where there are people who worked harder than I did, who were smarter than I was, who didn't make a fraction of what I made. And here I am sitting in this situation with all this money and an idea about improving education. And I don't think that's by accident. I think that is part of God's purpose for me.